Hello there guys and welcome, it is Niran here, and today it's time for me to bring you episode number 7 of Season 1 of our Wigan Athletic Road to Glory here on FIFA 16 Career Mode. And today I've got another 5 games for you, falling into a fairly similar format actually at the moment, though that will change slightly when we get into the transfer window in a few episodes. But 3 sim games for you today, and then another 2 played ones. The played games will be away against Peterborough, who are second in the league, and at home against Chesterfield. That will be the final game of today's episode. Meanwhile, before we get into the first game of today's episode, which is a sim, as you can see, we're going through some training. You guys voted that Grigg, Kapuska and Doolan should be trained for now, and Will Grigg has gone up to a 68 overall, but unfortunately, he's going on international duty after the first game of today's episode. So for the crucial game, first versus second, top of the table clash, he is unfortunately not going to be present, but he will be present for the first game of today's episode, which is a sim at home against Southend United. Now, obviously, you remember what happened last time we played Southend in the Capital One Cup second round, I do believe it was. An amazing 5-3 game away from home against Southend. It was an absolute classic, one game that we'll look back on from this series as an absolute classic. Today we're playing them in the Johnstone Paint Trophy regional quarter-finals, but as you can see, despite being at home, Southend have actually taken an early lead in the 15th minute. Their Barnet as opposed to our Barnet, has given them a lead, and Leonard in the 52nd minute, has doubled their lead to make it 2-0, and we're playing a very strong team, you know. Jacobs is into the side, but apart from that, it is literally the strongest team we can possibly put out, and we've lost the game 2-0 at home. Only 5 players allowed on the bench in Johnstone Paint Trophy games, and as you can see, Bree, Chow, Vucic came on, but unfortunately, we lose 2-0. But now it is time for the crucial game of today's episode, away against Peterborough, first versus second, and with the added spice of that Marcus Rashford is going to have to come in up front. This is the first time I think he started, or maybe the second time he started a game up front in a game that we've played. But of course, Will Grigg is away on international duty, so for this crucial first versus second clash in the league, Marcus Rashford, the youngster on loan from Manchester United, the 60 overall striker, is going to have to come into the side, and he's going to have to do the business. We don't have to worry about too much at the back. We are the best defensive team in the league, only 10 goals conceded, but going forward, we're slightly compromised by the fact that Grigg, our main man, the number 9, is not there, but hopefully the number 39, Rashford, will do the job. Jacobs back into the side as well. Donovan Daniels in to replace Barnet, and also Lee Nichols in because Jussi Jääskeläinen was away on international duty as well. But after just 8 minutes, the ball is sort of bouncing around our area. Donovan Daniels has been unable to clear it away as a simple pass for Macaulay Woodrow, and Cauley Woodrow has scored for Peterborough United. It's poor from ourselves. We should be getting it away. Donovan Daniels there. That touch is shocking. And Cameron Borthwick-Jackson with some shocking defending as well to keep Cauley Woodrow onside. After just 9 minutes, we are behind already. Sam Morsey, though, trying to get an instant response. He finds Michael Jacobs. He sees Rashford peeling away from the defender. And Marcus Rashford is there to score. We talked about him before the game. Would he be able to come in and do the same as Will Grigg? Well, on current form, yes, he can. After 17 minutes, he lifts the ball just over Ben Alnwick in the Peterborough goal, and we are level just 9 minutes after we went behind. But Peterborough are trying to go forward again with Suleiman Koulibaly, but thankfully he nods his free header just wide, and Pearce and Daniels at the back are looking decidedly shaky. Meanwhile, into the 33rd minute, Michael Jacobs hitting a crossbar with his free kick effort. That was a fantastic effort, getting it over the wall, but unfortunately the crossbar denied him. Nevertheless, into the 65th minute, Bartosz Kapuska with his deflected shot going over the bar after Aris Vucic, who's into the side for Yannick Wildschut. After he passed it to the Polish midfielder into the box from the resulting corner, and Cameron Borthwick-Jackson gets there before Alnwick in goal. It's an assist for Mikael Doolan from the corner. The Dane gets yet another assist, and it's on to the head of Cameron Borthwick-Jackson, who gets his first goal for the club, certainly in a played game, and we now lead 2-1 into the 61st minute. Some lovely passing play between Vucic and a few others. Back to Morsey. He then finds Michael Jacobs inside. He sees Kapuska making a run. He finds the Polish midfielder, and the Polish midfielder finds the back of the net. Just a few minutes after we took the lead, we now double our lead, and it is 3-1. Bartosz Kapuska yet again scores, the number 10. This guy is absolutely on fire. Some lovely passing play, though, between Morsey, Borthwick-Jackson. I think it came back to Vucic, then obviously Kapuska, Jacobs involved as well. As you can see, though, Odelusi's come off the bench, and some lovely play there, has to be said, to cut inside. Then a nice little back heel to Doolan. The 1-2 there between Jacobs and Odelusi, and Odelusi is trying to make things happen all by himself. He tries to pick out Rashford at the back post, but unfortunately he's unable to do so, and Odelusi's going forward again. This guy off the bench. The 64 overall winger is unfortunately unable to make it 4-1 because Alnwick saves with his feet. But looking good there is the English winger. Looks very good indeed. But as you can see, not looking good at the back. Lee Nichols in for Jussi Jääskeläinen, has had an absolute nightmare, and you can see where I was aiming when I pressed the power bar, and for some reason it didn't go to that player. I've got absolutely no idea why. It's a calamitous end to the game. But in the end, we do still grab the vital 3 points against Peterborough now to extend our lead at the top of the table to 9 points. Michael Jacobs gets man of the match. Good ratings as well for Doolan with a 7.5 and also for Rashford, Vucic, Kapustka and Morsey, who all came off, did well as Borthwick Jackson. Lee Nichols gets a 7, but he didn't actually make a single save, and he was also at fault for their second goal because I aimed at the right player, so it was clearly his mistake. You could see the way that I aimed as I was pressing the power bar, and he still gave it to the Wigan attacker, the Peterborough attacker. So he wants to leave, and by all means at the moment he's quite welcome to if he continues to perform like that when he plays. Nevertheless, in training, Philip Volden, our young youth academy player from Sweden, is currently about to hit 56 overall. He's growing pretty well, and he's got 85 to 94 potential, 80 to 94. Something ridiculous like that, which is very, very good. So he's certainly the future of the club at the moment in terms of the youth academy graduates. Nevertheless, after that important league win against Peterborough, it is now time to get into the second league game of today's episode against Bradford at home. Now, they've lost their last game. They're sitting down in 15th in the league, so we'll be hoping this is an easy win. Although, having said that, in the latest scores as well, Peterborough, who are second in the league, are actually losing to Millwall currently as well. So we've got a bit of margin for error at the moment. But after 31 minutes, Vilcher has been sent off, a straight red card, and up the other end, Thomas for Bradford has managed to score, and we're losing at home again in a sim. Reece James gave us a glimmer of hope, but just a minute later, Marshall for the visitors gave them the lead back, and as you can see by the end of the game, we've lost in a sim at home. Again, we lost against Southend in the Johnstone Paint Trophy. Now we've lost at home against Bradford by a different scoreline, 2-1, but still, our sim form is not very good at all, which means that our playing form, if you like, in the games that we actually play, that's going to matter even more. So going into the next game of today's episode, which is a Sheffield United away sim, we're not allowed Vilcher because he's suspended. There's going to be quite a few changes elsewhere as well. Lee Nichols, again, is coming out for Jääskeläinen, but Sheffield United, going into this game, have won their last 3 games. They're in incredible form. So they're certainly not a team to underestimate at Sheffield United. So going into this one, we know it's going to be a difficult game, especially away from home as well. You can see they won against Coventry, Oldham and Swindon in their last 3 games. We'll try and get a surprise win. Perkins and Vucic are into the side as well as Morgan at the back. Doolan gave us the lead though after 9 minutes, but Coots for Sheffield United has equalised just 8 minutes later. So at half-time it is 1-1. A yellow card each for both sides as well as we move into the second half. But still, this game needs a winner. And as you can see, Will Grigg hopefully is the man to provide that after just 68 minutes, 22 minutes to go. Can we hold on to the win? Yes, we can. So we can't win 2 games at home, which are supposedly meant to be easier in Sims. Yet we go to 4th in the league, away from home, a team that's on the back of 3 wins on the bounce, and we go and beat them 2-1 away, with the winning goal coming from Grigg, another goal as well from Mikel Doolan. So a mixed bag this episode so far. 2 wins and 2 losses so far. Let's hope we can end with a win in the final game, which is a played one against Chesterfield. As you can see there in the background, we're getting some youth scout reports back. We've got one guy from Austria that we're going to continue to scout. His max potential is 88, which isn't too bad, but obviously it could get a lot lower than that because that's very much the maximum. From Germany, we've got absolutely nothing whatsoever. As I said, from Austria, we've got someone who may end up being promoted into the team, but we're not entirely sure. And from Norway, we've got this guy, Emil Delanley, who's got a max potential of 93, so he's definitely going to be signed instantly. The other 3 can be got rid of instantly, but Emil Delanley, 42 to 56 overall, 69 to 93 potential, is put straight into the Youth Academy. Nevertheless, moving on from Youth Academy stuff, it's time for the final game of today's episode, and we're playing this one at home against Chesterfield in the league. And off the back of a win against Sheffield United and a loss before that against Bradford, which actually coincidentally was our first loss of the entire season in the league, we'll be hoping to finish the episode off on a high note. The only notable change really is that, Vilcher's back into the side after a suspension, and also James Bree is in at right back for Donovan Daniels. As you can see though, Bartosz Kapustka going forward there, played in by Will Grigg, but it's an easy save in the end for the Chesterfield goalkeeper, neither at the near post nor the far post really, that shot from Kapustka. And meanwhile, Morsey going past the challenge of a Chesterfield defender, playing in Will Grigg Solveig, who tries to hit it on the volley, but it's not the greatest of shots from our Northern Irish striker, and it's an easy save for the Chesterfield goalkeeper. Donovan Daniels, though, going in with a fantastic challenge. Not playing at right back today, that's James Breeze, playing at centre back instead, and keeping us in the game with a wonderfully timed challenge. Mikael Doolan, though, not the best of shots, it has to be said. We have been fairly unclinical in this one, and Chesterfield are going to try and punish us for that. Chris Hurd putting the ball into the box for Sylvain Ebanks-Blake, and somehow the striker for Chesterfield has somehow put that wide. Not a clue how, but we've got a bit of a wake-up call from that one. Yannick Vilchat, though, swinging the ball into the box, and Will Grigg is able to do what Sylvain Ebanks-Blake could not do just 3 minutes beforehand. He rises the highest amongst the players in the box. It's a wonderful ball in from Yannick Vilchat, and that is a collector's item. Me scoring a header from open play. This never happens, but a wonderful jump from Will Grigg and guiding the ball into the far corner away from the Chesterfield goalkeeper. It looks as if we've got this one in the bag now. We're going forward again as Chesterfield overcommit players forward. Tim Chow into the box, gets past the final challenge, and then the easiest part of all of it, he somehow manages to put the ball wide. That would have made it 2-0. It's the final kick of the game, so we still win. A crucial win in the end, a 1-0 victory, but surely it should have been 2, with that glaring opportunity for Tim Chow right at the end. Though Will Grigg gets man of the match for his goal. He won the game, of course, in the end. Sam Morsey and Vilchat were fantastic. Vilchat, of course, got the assist for the goal. For Will Grigg, who got the goal. He got man of the match. That's what I'm trying to say. And Donovan Daniels got a pretty good rating as well. That fantastic challenge. He deserves a 10 just for that challenge alone right at the end of the first half. But nevertheless, here is the table at the end of today's episode. We have an 8-point gap now over Southend United, who of course beat us right at the start of the episode in the Johnstone Paint Trophy. So no longer is it Peterborough in second. They have in fact slipped all the way down to 8th. That is what mistakes punish you in this league. They've gone from 2nd to 8th in one episode. It's now Millwall, Sheffield United, Rochdale and Coventry who round out the playoff positions, with Blackpool, Crewe Alexandra, Swindon Town and Oldham Athletic currently occupying the 4 relegation spots in this league. But yeah, very mixed bag then. Our first loss in the league season and a loss in the Johnstone Paint Trophy against Southend, but then 3 wins, all of which in the league, which does make up for it slightly, it has to be said. That Sheffield United win, the crucial win against Peterborough, otherwise we'd have a significantly slashed lead at the top of the table, it has to be said. And then that 1-0 win against Chesterfield right at the end of the episode. Hope you guys have enjoyed, though, this one. Feel free to hit the likes button if you did enjoy, subscribe if you're new around here as well, and comment about enjoying the video if you enjoyed it that much. Next time, we've got 5 more games for you. Southend, Shrewsbury and Crewe in the league, as well as an FA Cup first round tie against Portsmouth of League One, and then a quarter-final tie in the Capital One Cup against Premier League Southampton after we beat Manchester United and Liverpool in the last 2 rounds. Can we continue the giant killing and get to the semi-finals of the Capital One Cup? It's been a pleasure ranting at you guys today. Have a good day, enjoy yourselves, and goodbye.